Hi, this is PD at BurgZerg Arcade at BurgZergArcade.com, and this is tutorial 222. So we've been playing with our basic spell effects so far with using the, basic particle system. And there was actually one more that I wanted to go over that I'm probably going to be using in my game, and I figured I might as well show how I'm creating this effect. And I also wanted to show a few places online where you can actually go out and get some free particle effects. But let's start off with a quick demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead, create another particle system. I'm actually going to move it out a bit to somewhere flat. Let's see, over the water a bit. Not on the boat though. So I don't know, right about there. And the effect that I'm looking for is, I want it to be for my, the base effect for my AoE spells. So think of when they launch like an atomic bomb, how you have that huge mushroom cloud that goes up. That's not the part I want. I want the part where you have that cloud at the base. It's like a ring, and it just expands. Now, some people might have already seen this effect before, but for those who haven't, this is how you create it. So go ahead. I've got my particle emitter, my animator, and the renderer. I'm just going to start with the emitter. So I've got my particle effect down here. I'm going to take down the Y a bit, let's say 10%. So you end up with this flat particle effect. I'm actually going to move it up just a little bit. I'm going to switch it to a one-shot. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to my tangent velocity, and I'm going to adjust the X and the Z. And to start off with, I'm just going to use 5. So that's kind of the effect I want. Not quite. I'm going to need my particles to be bigger. Let's make them anywhere from 0.5 to 1. It's a bit better. I like the speed. I don't like how far they're going out. So what I'm going to do is slow them down as they move out. So I'll come down to dampening, and I'll just start off with 0.5. And as you see, they're quick to shoot out but slow down drastically as they get out there. I'm also going to drop the min energy and max energy, and I'm going to bring that down to, I want it to be a very quick system, so I'm going to do 1 second for each. That's pretty close to what I'm looking for as far as the speed goes. The shape's okay. We could probably use some more particles, so I'm going to jack it up to, let's say, 100 by 150. And that's okay. I could probably add some more particles, but for now it's okay. Let me see, what else do I want to do? We'll leave the speed, size is fine. I don't need any world velocity. I didn't mean to close that all up. You could go ahead and add a little bit of random velocity just to kind of give it that a little bit more of an alive feeling. So let's go ahead and add something like 0.2 to all of them. And you'll get the particles just moving just slightly a little bit different than each other. And of course you can play around with these values till you find exactly the one you're looking for. Yeah, I like the speed, so I'm going to leave my tangent velocity the way it is. I don't really care about them rotating. My ellipsoid is good. I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to play with the colors because I know I'm going to want to use different textures. So for instance, if they cast an AoE fire spell, I want to use a fire texture. If they do like a frost spell, I want a frost texture. So I'm actually just going to leave these alone for now. And I'm just going to come down, and I am actually going to apply a little bit of growth to it. Actually, I'm going to apply a 0.5 growth to it. So the particles actually get bigger as they go out. I'm not going to apply any random forces. And I think that's pretty much all I want to do. Even though we haven't covered sprite sheets yet, I'm actually going to go ahead and add one to this for my texture. And it may not make 100% sense now because we haven't covered sprite sheets, but I'll give you the basic gist, and we'll also be using this UV animation thing. And I think I have a few in this project. Let me just check. Yes, I do. So I'm going to come down. I've made this fire and smoke. And as you see, well, if I just open this up, let's open this up. And we'll see here, it's just a series of pictures. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 4. And it's just basically fire and smoke, and each one's just slightly different than the other. Now, honestly, this is way too big of a texture for the effect that I'm actually looking at, but for demonstration purposes, it's fine. So I'm going to close that up, and I've gone ahead and made a material. I've made a particle additive. I've thrown this texture into it. That's all you need to do. I'm going to come back over to my particle system, and I'm going to load up this material. Now, as you see, it doesn't look right. What we have to do is come down to the UV animation, and like I said, I had 8 across. On the X, we go 8, and on the Y, we have 4 down, so we'll do 4. And here we go. If you actually look at the particles themselves, they're not, individual particles. Or sorry, they're not like just static images. They actually have some animation in themselves. And of course, you can play with the cycles. You can have it cycle through multiple times. And if you notice, they're moving just a little bit faster. Let's really crank it up and make it twitchy. So it kind of looks like it's moving out across the water. But again, just tinker around with it, play with it till you get to the feeling that, the atmospheric feeling that you're looking for. But that's pretty much all I wanted to demonstrate in this one. I'm going to be saving this one off as a prefab for my generic AoE spell. And the idea behind it is I'll just be swapping out this texture for whatever type of AoE it is. Okay, so let's talk about these resources that I was mentioning. Actually, before I do that, I do want to go in-game and take a look. So here's the portal we made before. We have no script hooked up to it, so it doesn't actually teleport you anywhere. My debuff and my buff, my generic buff and debuff. And then our AoE spell. So, you'll have the mob in the middle that you target and boom. And I'm not exactly 100% sure how I want to handle the AoEs yet. I don't know if I want to just measure out from where the mob is that you hit and everything within a certain radius gets hit, or we could actually add colliders to these and have them, when they hit something, it counts as, basically being hit. It's still something I gotta work on. But anyway, let's go on to some actual resources for other particle systems. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just actually going to go to Unity. And if you go to the sports section and go under resources, you have quite a few things here. The ones I want to look at is the explosion framework. There's lots of fire and explosions. There's sound. Lens flares is something you probably should grab. There's quite a few really neat ones in there. If you go into the tutorial section, they actually have quite a few different effects in these, and I would definitely take a look at them. And there's another one, Unity presentations. It was in 07, and it was by Forrest, right here. Forrest talks on particles. This is something else. I know it's a little old, but it's actually still pretty good. I'd take a look at it, and it looks like the package is included that, it contains the files. And I would take a look at that. And there was one example project I really liked, procedural examples. This lightning effect you can pick up. And if you comb through the forums, you'll actually find quite a few as well. But those are some really good spots to start off with. I'm sure many other people have more, and if you feel like it, just make a comment below and share with the rest. And actually, I forgot the most obvious one. It's if you just come into your project window and right-click and import package, there should be a particle package right here. And of course, if you import this package, I've already actually imported this package. So let me see. I have absolutely no idea where it is. Oh, right here, standard assets and particles. So there's a dust one, fire, a couple fires it looks like. But here's some more you can take a look at to basically, add to the game that the ones you like. So now that we've covered quite a few basic particle systems, it would be really nice if people went ahead and actually created some of these basic particle systems, or at least the ones that you're looking to add to your game. Throw them all into a little video and upload it as a response to this video. I think it'd be really interesting to see what everyone else is making. Also, other people might be interested, and they might actually have some advice on how to make these basic particle systems a little more lively, or at least better in appearance. And just want to quickly rename this. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to cover in this one. And, well, thank everyone for watching. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.